126th constitutional amendment that was done recently. What is it about? It is about extending reservations to SC and STs. Extending reservation to SC and STs in Lok Sabhas and legislative bodies. In Lok Sabhas and legislative bodies, state legislative bodies. Right? This is about 126 constitutional amendment bill. Apart from extending the reservation to SC and ST in Lok Sabha and legislative bodies, even Anglo-Indians reservations is also related to 126 constitutional amendment bill. What does it speak about Anglo-Indians? It said that reservations for Anglo-Indians in Lok Sabha and state legislative bodies are being removed. Reservation for Anglo-Indians in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies is being removed. Right? If we have, I suppose it was covered in polity for you, right? The president nominates 2 Anglo-Indians for Lok Sabha. Right? Similarly, the governor nominates 1 Anglo-Indian to the state legislative assembly. Right? As per the constitution. Now that provision is being removed. And if we get into the details of these political reservations, every 10 years once, the political reservations for SC and STs are extended. Every 10 years once, the political reservations for SC and ST, they are extended. Right? We should not get confused between these reservations and the reservations in educational institution and public employment. Right? These two are different things. Article 15 guarantees, one of the provision of Article 15 is about reservations to SC and ST in educational institution. Article 16, which talks about public employment, that article speaks about reservation for SC and STs in public employment. Those are different. This is about reservation for SC and ST in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, right? This point we have to be clear. Every 10 years, political reservation for SC and ST are extended. Not the reservation in educational institutions or employment, right? And does Rajya Sabha have any reservations? No. In Rajya Sabha, we don't have any reservation for SC or ST, right? So that point also we have to be clear. Only for Lok Sabha. Now, Article 334 of Indian Constitution. This article tells that, this article basically said that only for 10 years, the reservation for SC and ST in the Lok Sabha and state legislative bodies will continue, right? After the starting of Constitution in 1950, only for 10 years, these political reservations were given to SC and ST under Article 334. However, these reservations were extended from time to time by constitutional amendments. By constitutional amendments, these political reservations for SC and ST were extended by 8th Constitutional Amendment, 23rd Constitutional Amendment, 45th Constitutional Amendment, 62nd Constitutional Amendment, 79th and 95th. So through constitutional amendments, every 10 years, these political reservations are being extended for 10 more years, right? So in this way, through various constitutional amendments, political reservations are being extended, not the reservation for educational or employment, right? That point we have to be clear. And does which type of constitutional amendment is this 126th? Now, this is one such constitutional amendment which comes under Article 368 and also requires ratification of minimum 50% of the states, right? If we have gone through Lakshmikant polity thoroughly, there are 3 types of constitutional amendments that are possible. One is outside Article 368 constitutional amendment, right? This can be done by a simple majority. The second category is constitutional amendment under Article 368. This is done with a special majority. The third category is constitutional amendments under Article 368 along with ratification of 50% of the state legislative assemblies, right? So 3 types of constitutional amendments are there. Now this constitutional amendment also speaks about reservations in state legislative assemblies, right? That's why 50% states ratification is also required for this 126 constitutional amendment. Right? This point we have to be careful. Just go through what are the different types of constitutional amendments. And with respect to this 126 constitutional amendment, we also have to know about Article 330 and Article 332, 330 and 332. These are about reservation for SC/ST in Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies, right? Just like how Article 15 speaks about educational institution reservation, how Article 16 speaks about public employment reservations for SC/ST, Article 330 and 332 is about reservation for SC/ST in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, right? Now Article 331, this is about reservation for Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha, right? Article 331 is about reservation for Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha. Under this article, the president nominates 2 Anglo-Indians to Lok Sabha, right? But now this provision of reservation for Anglo-Indians in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies is being removed, right? Is being removed. And Article 333, this is about reservation for Anglo-Indians in state legislative assembly, right? The governor can nominate 1 Anglo-Indian to state legislative assembly. Now that provision is also being removed by this 126 constitutional amendment bill, right? Which was already passed by the parliament, right? In this context, we also have to know about nominated members' powers, right? Nominated members don't have the voting powers for election of president. This is one point where we have to be careful, right? For the elections to the post of president, who all can vote? Suppose this was covered in polity, right? All the elected members of the parliament and also the state legislature, right? They are only eligible to vote in the presidential elections, not the nominated members, right? That point we have to be careful. And the second thing is, nominated members are given 6 months time, to shift to any particular political party after they are nominated as MP or MLA, right? If we go by anti-defection law, nominated members are given 6 months time to select their political party if they want to shift to any political party. After 6 months, if they shift to any political party, then they come under this anti-defection law proceedings, right? This point also we have to know. Now, what is the difference between nominated candidate and independent candidate? Independent candidate cannot change to any particular political party. If independent candidate changes to any one particular political party, then he comes under the anti-defection proceedings. Whereas nominated members are given 6 months time, right? These small details we have to be very thorough with them, right? These are the areas where the UPSC tries to ask us, right? What's the difference between nominated member? What is the difference between independent member, right? Does nominated members are participating in elections of president, right? All these things we have to be careful. So this is about 126th constitutional amendment bill. This is about extending political reservation for SC and ST in Lok Sabha and legislative bodies, state legislative bodies, right? And the provision of reservation for Anglo-Indians in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies was removed by this 126 constitutional amendment. That also we have to know. And the articles we have discussed, Article 334, which talks about 10 years limit, Article 330, Article 332, Article 331, Article 333, right? We have to be thorough with all these articles. And regarding reservations is also a very important topic for us for prelims, right? Because recently Supreme Court gave a judgment saying reservations is not a fundamental right. Right to reservation is not a fundamental right. So straight from Indira Sani case, or to that matter from Champakam Dorairanjan case, till the recent Supreme Court judgment, all the Supreme Court judgments we have to be thorough with. Champakam Dorairanjan case, Indira Sani case, what did that case speak about reservations in promotions, right? Did that specify any creamy layer? What is Nagaraj versus Union of India case, right? What is Jarnail Singh versus Union of India case, right? These all are Supreme Court judgments which we have to be thorough with respect to reservations, right? EWS, which constitutional amendment brought EWS reservations, right? So all these areas we have to be thorough with. Now the second topic we are going to discuss is PPRTMS. What is this PPRTMS? Political Parties Registration Tracking Management System. Political Parties Registration Tracking Management System. This is called PPRTMS, right? PPRTMS. Political Parties Registration Tracking Management System. This is an online portal launched by Election Commission of India, right? This is an online portal launched by Election Commission of India. That's it. No more extra points about this. Like through this online portal, the political parties can track their status of application, right? They can track their status of application. In the previous class, we have discussed about registration and recognition of political parties, right? Now, any political party has to register with the Election Commission of India if it wants to contest in elections, right? So, as it registers with ECI, now what is the status of its registration? To check the status of the registration, this online portal was brought by Election Commission of India, right? PPRTMS, right? This is about that. And yeah, one more point is political parties are registered under Representation of People Act 1951, right? Representation of People Act 1951. Section 29A of Representation of People Act 1951. Under this act, political parties are registered, right? The third topic for today is Citizenship Amendment Act. The third topic for today is Citizenship Amendment Act. Now there are various dimensions in which a question about Citizenship Amendment Act can be expected in the coming prelims, right? One dimension is constitutional provisions related to citizenship, right? Constitutional provisions related to citizenship. Article 11 of the Constitution, empowers the Parliament to make laws and rules about citizenship, right? Article 11 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to make laws and rules related to citizenship. Now, citizenship is a union list subject, state list subject, or concurrent. It is a union list subject, right? It's a union list subject, and only Parliament has the power to make rules and laws. Article 11 of the Indian Constitution gives that power to the Parliament. Now, who are illegal migrants? This is one place where a question can be asked. Who are illegal migrants? Now, according to Citizenship Act 1955, right? Now, the Citizenship Amendment Act is just an amendment to the Act. Right from 1955 onwards, we had this Citizenship Act, right? So, under the Citizenship Act of 1955, illegal migrant is defined as someone, point number one, who comes to India and stays without proper documents. Who comes to India and stays without proper documents. The second point is someone who has stayed in India beyond the permitted time. It's trying to give citizenship to these illegal migrants, right? It's trying to give citizenship to these illegal migrants, but it's not that simple. 4 conditions. The amendment keeps 4 conditions. What are those 4 conditions? First, that particular illegal migrant should be from Hindu, Sikh, Buddhism, Jainism, Parsi or Christianity, right? He or she must belong to Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Parsi and Christianity, right? These are the religions to which that particular individual has to belong. This is the first condition. Second condition is he should be from the countries of Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. This is the second condition. He should be from Afghanistan. He or she should be from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. This is the second condition. Third condition is he or she should have been in India before December 31st, 2014. This is the cutoff date. Only those individuals who are living in India before December 31st, 2014, right? This is the third condition. Fourth condition is all the 6th schedule areas and the ILP areas, 6th schedule areas and inner line permit areas. These areas are exempted from the Citizenship Amendment Act, right? That means those illegal migrants who are in 6th schedule areas and who are in ILP areas, inner line permit areas, they will not be given these benefits of Citizenship Amendment Act. These are the 4 conditions, right? He must belong to some particular religions which we have discussed. Second thing, he must be coming from 3 different countries which we have discussed. Third thing is cutoff date, right? If someone comes to India from these respective countries yesterday, then he is not eligible, right? Cutoff date is 31st December 2014. Fourth thing is 6th schedule areas and ILP areas. What are the 6th schedule areas, right? Just find it out. What is this inner line permit area? Which all states have this inner line permit, right? Find about that also. Manipur recently got this inner line permit, right? Previously only Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Mizoram used to have. Now Manipur also has this ILP. Now 6th schedule areas, in which states are they in? Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, right? AMTM. In these states they are there, right? Find out all these things, guys. So these are the 4 conditions, right? So those illegal migrants who satisfy these 4 conditions will be given 2 things. What are those 2 things? First thing, any legal proceedings against these illegal migrants in India will be nullified, right? They will be closed. For example, if there is any case against someone that he is an illegal migrant, all such cases will be removed on that particular illegal migrant, right? This is the first thing. Second thing is period of naturalization was reduced from 11 to 5 years. Sorry guys. Period of naturalization was reduced from 11 to 5 years. What is this naturalization? Naturalization means this is one way of getting citizenship, right? There are some ways of getting citizenship. Citizenship by birth, citizenship by naturalization, citizenship by registration, citizenship by occupation of a territory, right? So different ways are there how we can get citizenship. One of that way is naturalization. Naturalization means a particular foreigner has come to India and say he has stayed here for some 20 or 25 years. Then he will be considered as a citizen of India, right? He has the option of becoming citizen of India. This is called naturalization because he has stayed in India for more than a particular years. So that is 11 years under the Citizenship Act, right? If any foreigner wants to be a citizen of India, he has to come to India and live for more than 11 years. Then he has the option of becoming a citizen of India by naturalization. This was relaxed for the illegal migrants. It was reduced from 11 to 5 years. That means all those illegal migrants belonging to those particular religions, coming from those particular countries, will be required only 5 years of naturalization, right? Not 11 years of naturalization. But this is not for all the illegal migrants, only for Afghan, Pak and Bangla countries, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhism, Jainism, Parsi and Christianity, right? Only for this. So this is about the bill, guys. These are the details which we have to be thorough with the bill. Now, this bill not only talks about illegal migrants, but it also talks about overseas citizens of India. Overseas citizens of India. Just find out who are these overseas citizens of India. Right? Who are these overseas citizens of India? So in this Citizenship Amendment Act, the government was given the power, the union government was given the power to cancel the registration of overseas citizens of India. Right? To cancel the registration of overseas citizens of India. Now find out the difference between NRI, non-resident of India, PIO, person of Indian origin, and OCI, overseas citizen of India. What are these three categories? Just find out, guys. Right? So OCI is one such category. Just like how we have NRIs, how we have PIO, person of Indian origins, OCI is one such category. This registration is also done by the government only. Now, if a particular overseas citizen of India is violating any laws in our country, then the government is given the power to cancel his registration under this Citizenship Amendment Act, right? So not only about illegal migrants, but also about OCI registration and cancellation also, this Citizenship Amendment Act speaks about, right? If there is any question about Citizenship Amendment Act, where 3 to 4 options are given, in which one of the option is about OCI registration and cancellation, then that is also a part of Citizenship Amendment, right? We all will be focusing only on illegal migrants. But the amendment speaks not only about illegal migrants, but also about overseas citizens of India, right? This we have to be careful, and also try to find out what is NRC and what is NPR. What is NRC, what is NPR, right? Who is the person responsible for conducting NRC? Who is the person responsible for conducting NPR? NRC is about citizenship, guys. NPR is about residents. NPR is not about citizens. NPR is about residents. All those residing in the country. NRC is about citizens of India. Right? Try to find those differences. And the next topic is Arms Amendment Act 2019, right? Arms Amendment Act 2019. This was done in the month of December. So what is this Arms Amendment Act? Arms, ARMS, right? We all know illegal arms trafficking is a problem in India. Illegal arms trafficking, right? In some states like Bihar and UP, this illegal arms trafficking is much severe, right? Law and order is out of control in some of the states because this illegal arms trafficking is a major issue, right? And this illegal arms trafficking is also helping terrorists and Naxalists also, right? This is the way, or this illegal way is the way by which these terrorists and Naxalists get the latest technologies and latest arms, right? So to stop this, the government has come up with an amendment, Arms Amendment Act 2019. So this is basically to check or to stop manufacturing and trafficking of illegal arms, right? So what is done in this? License holders. Now under the Arms Act 1955, license holders are there. That means those who can get a license from the government can hold a gun, right? They can maintain a gun. They can maintain arms, right? Previously, all those license holders can maintain 3 firearms. They can maintain 3 firearms, but now they can maintain only 1 firearm, right? This is the first change that was brought. All the license holders can acquire only 1 firearm now. Previously, they were allowed to take up 3 firearms under the license. This is first thing. Second thing, that those extra firearms which are there with the license holders, they can deposit within 1 year time, right? 1 year time was given to the license holders to deposit excess firearms to the government. This is the second thing. Third thing, validity of the license. Validity of the license was increased from 3 to 5 years. From 3 to 5 years, right? This was done. And punishment levels were increased. Punishment level were increased, right? Previously, imprisonment for 10 years was a punishment if anyone was carrying illegal arms. But now it was increased to life imprisonment. It is increased to life imprisonment now. So the strictness in punishment was increased, and celebrity gunfiring was also prohibited. What is celebrity gunfiring? Celebrity gunfiring means for any functions or wedding ceremonies, right? It's a part of culture of some communities to shoot in the air, right? This is called celebrity gunfiring, right? Together some group of people will be shooting in the air, right? Such kind of things are also harmful to the people. In fact, it led to some deaths. So that's why the government has strictly prohibited celebrity gunfiring in this Arms Amendment Act, right? So celebrity gunfiring word we have to know. And for sports persons, special permission was given, right? For sports people, special permission was given for practice. And also tracking of manufacturing of these firearms is also being planned by the government. Tracking of firearms, right? So this is about Arms Amendment Act. Just some points we have to know at least, right? So, and an important topic related to governance is Disha Act. Disha Act, right? I've already advised you to compare Disha Act with Nirbhaya Act, right? What is the difference between national acts and the new state act which was brought by Andhra Pradesh? What are the differences? These we have to know, right? Because these differences can be straightforward questions. Because till now, we were following a particular set of rules and regulations for cases related to rape and murders of women, right? But now Andhra Pradesh has come up with something new. What is that new? We will be taking up now, right? So first of all, the official name for this act is, or the name for this act on paper is AP Criminal Law Amendment Act. AP Criminal Law Amendment Act 2019, right? If in the question, if it's said that AP Criminal Law Amendment Act, we should be able to identify it as Disha Act, right? If we don't know this, then we can't answer the question itself, right? So the official name of this Disha Act is AP Criminal Law Amendment Act 2019. This is the first thing we have to know. Second, so now we'll take up the provisions of the bill. How are they different? First thing, investigation should be completed within 7 days. This is the first rule that is there in this Disha Act. Investigation should be finished within 7 days. Now such provision is not there in Nirbhaya Act or any other IPC or CRPC sections, right? So investigation should be finished in 7 days. Prosecution should be prosecution and trial should be finished in 14 days, right? And judgment should be given within 21 days. Judgment should be given within 21 days. This is the first provision under Disha Act, right? Investigation within 7 days, prosecution and trial within 14 days, and judgment within 21 days. That means a case related to rape and murder of a woman has to be solved within 21 days. Now this is 4 months under Nirbhaya Act, right? Under Nirbhaya Act 2013, this time period is 4 months, right? When Nirbhaya Act was passed, the union government said 4 months, within 4 months, justice has to be done. But the AP government has even reduced that from 4 months to 21 days. Right? This is the major change that was brought by the state of AP. Second thing is, this bill tries to amend IPC and CRPC. What is IPC? Indian Penal Code. What is CRPC? Criminal Procedure of Criminal Procedure Code. Sorry, Code of Criminal Procedure, right? CRPC, right? So these two were also being amended by this AP state. So now one thing we have to be clear here is this Disha Act was passed by by the AP state, but it requires President nod. This bill requires President nod. That means this bill requires assent of the President. Why? Because this bill is trying to amend IPC and CRPC, right? It's trying to amend the Indian Penal Code and Criminal Procedure Code, right? These two are being amended by this AP state. So that's why still the President nod was not given to this Disha Act. At this point we have to know. And another interesting provisions or important provisions in this is Women and Child Offenders Registry. This bill talks about setting up a Women and Child Offenders Registry. What is this Women and Child Offenders Registry? All those criminals who were booked and proven guilty under crimes against women and children, their database will be uploaded in a portal. That is Women and Child Offenders Registry. Right? Now we already had one such registry at the national level. National Sexual Offenders Registry. Ministry of Home Affairs 2 years back itself brought this National Sexual Offenders Registry. Now what is the difference between that registry and this registry? National Sexual Offenders Registry, the data of those criminals is not made open to the public. It was not made open to the public. Whereas the Women and Child Offenders Registry that is being prepared in the state of AP is made open to the public. Right? That means public can have access to Women and Child Offences Registry of state government. However, not to the national government, right? Only to investigation agencies, not to the people. But AP state government is giving this data to the public. That is one major difference. And the third thing is exclusive death penalty for rape and murder cases. Exclusive death penalty for rape and murder cases. Now what does this say is, if any one particular person accused in AP state in AP state, if anyone is accused of rape and murder and if he is proven guilty, then for sure he will be given death penalty. But this is not the case with Nirbhaya Act. In Nirbhaya Act, death penalty is one of the possible punishments to the guilty. Right? Life imprisonment is there, 10 years of imprisonment is there, life imprisonment is there, and death penalty is also there. Right? So death penalty is one of the possible punishment under Nirbhaya Act. But death penalty is an exclusive punishment under Disha Act. Right? So this is also one difference. And the next difference is regarding sexual offenses against children. Sexual offenses against children. Under POCSO Act, at the national level, we have an act called POCSO Act, Prohibition of Children from Sexual Offences Act, right? POCSO Act. So this POCSO Act tries to give life imprisonment as one of the possible punishment, right? 7 years of punishment, 10 years of punishment, 40 years of punishment, or life imprisonment. These are all possible ways of punishment. However, what Disha Act says is exclusive life imprisonment for all those who commit offenses against children, right? This is also a difference between national level act and Disha Act, right? Disha Act says exclusive life imprisonment. But what does POCSO say? Life imprisonment is one of the possible punishments, right? So this is another difference. And something which is not there in IPC and CRPC and something which was brought by our AP state government is cases related to social media harassment for women, right? The AP state government also tried to include harassment of women in social media as a separate provision in this act, right? In IPC or CRPC, till now, we don't have such provision. We don't have an exclusive separate provision for online sexual harassment. But AP state government has brought that provision also, right? And another special thing is special courts and special police teams, right? You might have seen Disha police station, Disha police teams, right? Such things were not there before. That was also brought by our AP state government, right? Exclusive special courts and special police teams. So these are all some major differences between our Disha Act and the Nirbhaya Act and the POXO Act, right? Hope this was clear to everyone. And coming to environment topics, the first topic we'll take up is Climate Change Performance Index. Climate Change Performance Index. This is published annually. That means every year this is published. That is first thing we have to know about any report, right? Is it a biennial report or biannual report or annual report, right? This we have to know. So this Climate Change Performance Index is an annual report. The second thing we have to know is who publishes it, right? Now German Watch publishes it. German Watch, an organization called German Watch, along with CAN, Climate Action Network, CAN. German Watch along with Climate Action Network, CAN, and New Climate Institute. These three together publish this Climate Change Performance Index, right? Now this index tries to measure the performance of countries with respect to climate change, right? How are the countries trying to reduce the effects of climate change? That is measured by these organizations and ranks are given in this index. Now, two interesting things in this Climate Change Performance Index is top 3 positions were kept vacant. That means, according to this German Watch organization, there is no country that is actually doing things as per its commitments to Paris Agreement, right? That's why first 3 places or positions were left empty in this Climate Change Performance Index. And Sweden was given the 4th rank. Sweden was given the 4th rank. And India was given the 9th rank, right? India's rank actually improved from 11 to 9. Last year, before last year, it was 11 in the year 2018. In the year 2019, it came to 9th rank, right? So India's rank improved, and for the first time, India came in the top 10 list. That's why this index is important for us, right? That's why this index is important for us. All those indexes which were in news for some important reasons, we have to remember them, right? If not all the reports and indexes, at least those which are in news and which are important, and in those reports where India achieved something, we have to definitely remember them. So these are some points about Climate Change Performance Index. Annual report published by German Watch, CAN, and New Climate Institute. Top 3 ranks were left empty. Sweden was given the 4th rank, and India's rank improved from 11th to 9th. Now we have already discussed another index called Environmental Performance Index, right? Now we should not get confused between Climate Change Performance Index and Environmental Performance Index, right? If you remember, Environmental Performance Index is published by Yale University and World Economic Forum, right? So these two published the Environmental Performance Index. In that index, India was ranked in the last 20 countries. India was ranked in the last 20 countries. If I'm not wrong, 168 out of 180. But in this ranking, India is in the top 10 countries, right? So a lot of difference between Climate Change Performance and Environmental Performance Index, right? And also we have discussed about emissions gap report also, right? Who publishes this emissions gap report? Just revise. So this is the first topic. Second topic is Jal Jeevan Mission. Second topic is Jal Jeevan Mission. Now we have already discussed Jal Shakti Abhiyan. right? In detail last time. Just revise those 20 different traditional water harvesting names, guys, right? A possibility is there from that area. Now, Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission's overall objective is providing functional household tap water connections for the rural areas by 2024. Right? I'll repeat it once again. Providing functional household tap water connections in rural areas by 2024. This is the overall objective, providing tap connections. Now this is being taken up by Ministry of Jal Shakti, right? Ministry of Jal Shakti. And some important components in this Jal Jeevan Mission are, first thing, improving the village water supply infrastructure, right? Only then it is possible to ensure that rural households will have water connections by 2024, right? So the first component is improving village water supply infrastructure. That is the first component. Second component is developing reliable water sources in the villages. Only when we have water in the villages, only then it is meaningful to have connections, right? So that's why, as a component of Jal Jeevan Mission, development of reliable drinking water sources in the village, that is also a component. And technological intervention to make water potable. Potable means to make water so that it can be taken for consumption. That is called potable water, right? So technological intervention to make water potable. And grey water management is another component under this Jal Jeevan Mission. What is grey water? Grey water is different from sewage water, right? Grey water means all that water used in a household for domestic purposes, right? For non-sewage purposes. Sewage is different from grey water, right? All the water we use for cleaning vegetables, right? Cleaning floors, right? Or cleaning cars. So this kind of water comes as a part of grey water, right? So this is one difference we have to know. And the fifth component is development of utilities in villages. Utilities means those which supply water, right? We need to have water, we need to have water connections, and we also need to have some organizations to supply water, right? So that's why developing of utilities and capacity building, this is also a component, right? So these are the different components: village water supply infra improving, reliable drinking water sources developing, right? Technological intervention to make water potable, grey water management, and development of utilities and R&D and capacity building, right? This is also a community driven approach. Just like Jal Shakti Abhiyan, community participation is given more importance in Jal Jeevan Mission, right? This point also we have to be thorough, and local bodies and gram panchayats are given more role. Local bodies and gram panchayats are given more role because the level of water conservation and water supply is not the same, right? There is huge diversity in India. One shoe fits all approach doesn't suit in India, right? One particular approach will not be useful for all the states. The situation of water is different in Ladakh. The situation of water is different in Chennai, right? So that's why gram panchayats and local community and community participation is given more importance in this Jal Jeevan Mission. Coming to the funding, it is 90:10. That means center will give 90% of the funds. States should arrange 10% of the funds. This 90:10 formula is for special category states. 50:50 for other states. And 100% for union territories. That means center will give 100% funding for union territories. For states, special category states, it is 90:10. Center will give 90%. The special category states has to arrange for 10%. For other states, it's 50:50. Now, one important point where we have to be careful in this Jal Jeevan Mission is, this is only about functional tap water connections, right? Not about free water supply, right? Because the other name for Jal Jeevan Mission is Har Ghar Jal by 2024, right? You might have heard about this phrase, Har Ghar Jal by 2024. So this scheme does not speak about providing water to all the rural households, right? This scheme speaks about providing water connections to all the households. That is important. Just like PM Ujjwala Yojana, we have Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, right? That is about free LPG connections to the BPL families. That is not about free LPG cylinders to the BPL families, right? Giving LPG connection and LPG cylinder is different. Similarly, giving free water and giving free water connection is different, right? Rural people are being given only free water connections. They have to buy water, right? That is important, right? So utility based approach is there in this mission. Utility based means water is not given for free, right? They have to pay for water, right? So this point we have to be very careful. And this Jal Jeevan Mission is Union government's initiative. Similarly, we had an initiative in Odisha state. In Odisha state. So its name is Jal Sathi Initiative. Jal Sathi Initiative, right? Jal Sathi Initiative. Just find out what is this Jal Sathi Initiative. And Mission Shakti. This is also a mission of Odisha government. So Jal Sathi and Mission Shakti. What are these initiatives of Odisha government? Right? These are basically women self-help group led initiatives. That means Odisha government is taking the help of women self-help groups for water conservation and for ensuring water supply to households. Right? And other area where we have to be focused in Jal Jeevan Mission is this is about providing tap water connections to rural households by 2024. Not the urban households, right? Rural households, because accessibility to water is an issue in rural areas. As of now, 82% of the rural households don't have water connections, right? They don't have water connections. That's why this scheme was brought. Now, the other day we have discussed about good governance index in one of the topics, right? And this good governance index was launched on December 25th, on the Good Governance Day, right? Because it was the birth anniversary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister. So there were two other initiatives also launched on that day. I advised you to go through those two other initiatives, right? One of the initiative is Atal Bhujal Yojana, right? 3 initiatives on last year, December 25th. One is Good Governance Index by Ministry of Personnel. The second is Atal Bhujal Yojana by Ministry of Jal Shakti. And the third one is Atal Tunnel, Atal Rohtang Tunnel. Just find out what is the tunnel. So this Atal Bhujal Yojana we will be discussing today. So Atal Bhujal Yojana is an initiative of Ministry of Jal Shakti. Second thing, it is a central sector scheme, right? It is a central sector scheme. What is central sector scheme? What is centrally sponsored scheme? What are core of the core schemes? Just find out all these things. And water is a state subject, guys. Water is a state subject, right? Water is not a concurrent subject. Water is a state subject. So what is this Atal Bhujal Yojana? As the name itself suggests, this is about Bhujal. This is about groundwater, right? How to improve groundwater management in India. That is the objective of Atal Bhujal Yojana, right? So to improve groundwater management through community participation. That is the objective of Atal Bhujal Yojana, right? Now, is it implemented in all the states? No. This is implemented only in 7 states, right? So this Atal Bhujal Yojana is implemented only in 7 states. These 7 states are Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and UP. Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and UP. These are the 7 states, right? This is one area where they can confuse us. Not in all the states, only in 7 states. And why these 7 states? Because these are the 7 states which have overexploited their groundwater sources for irrigation and for agricultural purposes, right? That's why these 7 states were chosen. So that is one point we have to be careful. And 50% funding is being sponsored by World Bank for this scheme. World Bank is giving 50% of the funds, right? That point we have to know. And the 2 major components of this scheme are, one is institutional strengthening and capacity building. That means in these particular 7 states where groundwater is being overexploited, capacity building will be done. That means new techniques will be told to them, right? New technologies will be introduced in that particular states for better groundwater management. That is the first component. And second component is incentive component for the states. Second component is incentive component for the states. Incentive component means those states among these 7 which are performing well in groundwater management, they will be given extra funds, right? This is like an incentive for the states. That is also there in this particular initiative, right? So ministry, so Atal Bhujal Yojana, Jal Shakti Ministry, Central Sector Scheme, water is a state subject, groundwater management improvement through community participation, 7 states, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Haryana, UP and Rajasthan. These 7 states, 50% funding by the World Bank and 2 major components, capacity building of the states and incentive for the states. Right? This is about Atal Bhujal Yojana. Now the last topic for today is Global Climate Risk Index. Global Climate Risk Index. So Global Climate Risk Index is also published by German Watch. Is also published by German Watch, right? The other index which we have discussed just now, Climate Change Performance Index, that is also published by German Watch. And this Global Climate Risk Index, this is also published by German Watch, right? Now what does this measure? This index measures the risk in every country for climate change, right? How vulnerable a country is for the climate change. That is measured in this index. Now India was ranked 5th most vulnerable country for climate change, right? India was ranked 5th most vulnerable country for climate change. Based on the cyclones we faced, based on the floods we faced, based on the droughts India faced last year, this conclusion was made by German Watch that India is the 5th most vulnerable country, right? In fact, our rank has become worst compared to the previous year. In the 2018, our rank was 14, but now our rank is 5. We are the 5th most vulnerable. And Japan has topped. Japan was ranked the most vulnerable country in the world, right? As we know, Japan is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire region, right? Just connected to geography, right? Japan is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. So earthquakes, floods and volcanoes are already more frequent in Japan. Now climate change will make it much more worst, right? That's why Japan was made the first country, first most vulnerable country. So this is about Global Climate Risk Index, right? So these are all the topics for today, guys. And yeah, regarding negative oil prices, we'll cover it up fastly in 2 minutes. So negative oil prices, how come the price of oil has become negative, right? We all know there are 2 main reasons why this has been observed. First is supply of oil. Supply of oil has increased in the market. If you were following newspaper from 2 to 3 months, Saudi and Russia had a dispute regarding supply of oil, production of oil, right? So because of that dispute, Saudi said that it will produce as much oil as it wants. Just go through that Saudi-Russia dispute. So basically, supply of oil in the market has increased, right? That is one thing. Second thing is demand for oil has decreased because of the COVID pandemic, right? We all know because of the COVID pandemic, trade, shipping, all these came to a standstill. All the industries were stopped. So demand for fuel was reduced. So supply increased and demand reduced. What will happen? The prices of the oil will fall. They fell very sharply, right? This is the main reason for negative oil prices. Now, howsoever the demand is low, how come it has become negative? It has become negative because to understand how it has become negative, we need to know how is oil bought and sold by different countries. Oil is bought and sold by different countries through futures contracts mechanism. Future contract mechanism means, as the name itself says, contract will be done in April month for buying the oil in May month, right? For buying the oil in the month of May, contract will be done in April itself, right? This is called future contract mechanism. Say for example, India wants to buy some oil from Saudi Arabia, right? Now, if India has made an agreement with Saudi Arabia in the month of March, it will buy the oil in the month of April. This is called future contract mechanism. Now what happened? Many countries have made contract agreements with these Gulf countries and other countries for purchasing oil. Unfortunately, COVID pandemic came in between. Now what happened because of this? Storage cost, transportation cost, all these increased because there is no demand for oil there. So even though these countries take the oil from these Saudi countries, Gulf countries, they need to store it again in their country. So storage cost will be there for the buyers. For the buyers, storage cost, transportation cost, all this will be there. For the sellers, production cost will be there. Now what these buyers did is, rather than taking that oil and storing it, it is better to pay the price to those countries and leave it. Rather than getting that oil from Saudi or from other country through ship and storing it in our country, it is cheaper for these buyers to pay some money and get rid of that oil. That's why they have paid $40 per barrel and they got rid of that oil. So they did not take the oil, but they paid for the oil. That's why the negative oil prices have come. Now for prelims, what we have to know is, what is OPEC? This we have to know. What is OPEC? When was it found? Where is it headquarters? What are the different countries? OPEC plus, this also we have to know. There is another grouping called OPEC plus. What is this OPEC plus? What are the other extra countries with which OPEC collaborates, right? West Texas Intermediate. This is an oil variety name. Just like Brent crude oil is there, similarly West Texas Intermediate crude oil is there. This is an oil type. Just find out what is this oil type, because it is this West Texas Intermediate crude oil which has seen negative oil prices. So just find about that. And yeah, so that's it guys. And strategic petroleum reserves in India, just find about those also. What are the strategic petroleum reserves in India? We have one in Padur, right? We have one in Mangalore, we have one in Vizag. We are planning another in Chandikol, in Odisha. Just find out what are the strategic petroleum reserves. More than 80% of the crude oil needs we import, right? India imports more than 80% of its crude oil needs. That means the domestic industries which we have, the HPCL, IOCL, BPCL, all these only produce 20% of our needs, right? The rest 80% we are importing. That we need to know. And what are the different taxes imposed by central and state government on the petrol and the diesel? That also we have to know, right? That dimension was also in the news. Central imposes excise duty, state imposes VAT. These you have to know, right? What is administered pricing mechanism? What is free market mechanism? These are some dimensions about oil. Oil was in the news like anything in the past 1 year, right? We have to be very thorough with oil.